Hello and welcome to Female Cricket Live. The 24th match of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup will be played between England and Pakistan tomorrow, that is 24th of March, at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. So before we start talking about the England-Pakistan match, let us have a quick look at match number 21 and match number 22 that were played on 22nd of March. So in match number 21, we saw South Africa taking on Australia, and Australia went on to win that match by 5 wickets. Batting first, South Africa posted a challenging score of 271 for 5 in 50 overs thanks to Laura Wilford, who top-scored with 90 runs, registering her fourth consecutive ODI half-century in this World Cup. In reply, Australia chased down the target in just 45.2 overs to win the match by 5 wickets thanks to their captain Meg Lanning, who top-scored with an unbeaten 135. For South Africa, it was Shabnim Ismail and Chloe Tryon who picked up 2 wickets. So after that match, we could see that Australia have won all their 6 matches in this World Cup so far, while South Africa have won 4 out of their 5 matches. Then we had the match number 22 that was played between India and Bangladesh, also on 22nd of March. So India won that match against Bangladesh by 110 runs. Batting first, India posted a respectable score of 229 for 7 in 50 overs, thanks to Yastika Bhatia, who top scored with 50 runs, while for Bangladesh, it was Ritu Moni who was the pick of the bowlers as she struck with 3 wickets. In reply, Bangladesh could only manage to score 119 as they were bowled out in 40.3 overs, thanks to Sneh Rana, who wreaked havoc with the ball, picking up 4 wickets. For Bangladesh, Salma Khatun top scored with 32 runs. So after the match between India and Bangladesh, we could see that India have won 3 out of their 6 matches, while Bangladesh have won 1 out of their 5 matches. Now this is done and dusted, and now ahead of us we have the 24th match of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. It is between England and Pakistan. The match will be played tomorrow, that is 24th of March, at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. It will start at 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and you can catch all the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. Now to talk more about this exciting contest between England and Pakistan, I have with me Dhanush Lavanya and Urvi Shah. So Dhanush Lavanya is a content writer at Female Cricket, and Urvi Shah is a mental health facilitator and an avid cricket writer. So I welcome both of you to Female Cricket Live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So Dhanush, both the teams, England and Pakistan, they are coming from fresh wins. England, they won over New Zealand by 1 wicket. Pakistan, I think they beat West Indies by 8 wickets in that rain-curtailed affair. Now, talking about England, of course, that was a nail-biting thriller that we saw when they took on New Zealand. So, what are your thoughts on that England's performance in New Zealand's game, and what could be their approach going into the match ahead against Pakistan?
First of all, I guess England will be relieved with the victory against New Zealand because, come on, it wasn't. They shouldn't have gone to that level because they were pretty much confident. They were comfortable. They were looking for an easy win because the lower down the order, like Sophia Dunkley and all, were playing really good. But unfortunately, they lost 2-3 wickets in a row. There was the train interruption and all, right? If I'm not wrong, so. New Zealand got a chance to come back, and those 3 wickets in the last few overs was the problem. And then, thanks to Anya Strapsol, she scored an amazing boundary in that over against Brooke Halliday, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it was just a amazing game. At the end of the day, they will be relieved of the victory that they got because if you see after 3 matches, everyone were like, okay, if they lose one more match, it's done for England. The defending champions will be the team who might be the first team to get out of the World Cup. If you see a week ago, but the way they played against India and the way they have played against New Zealand is really really good. Especially the bowling has stepped up really good because the first 3 matches, if you see, batters were also not so good, but the bowling was something that was letting them down in a big way. So I feel it is really nice that they restricted India for 134 and then they restricted New Zealand for 203. The bowling will be extremely confident. And now with 2 games against Pakistan and Bangladesh, who are almost out of who are definitely out of the tournament, it will be an easy affair for sure. But they shouldn't take this match lightly because Pakistan, on the other hand, they just won. They just got a victory in a gift wrap, and they took it with that amount of with everything. So I feel that Pakistan will be. It won't be a rain-curdled affair for sure. Christchurch, for the first time, we are going to see how the wicket will behave, and this will be the same place where the finals also will happen. So it will certainly be an idea for the not only the 2 teams that are playing in there, but also the teams like Australia, like India, who have the chances of going into the semifinals. They will be watching this game closely and seeing how the wicket behaves, so that maybe when these teams come into the semifinals, they can get adjusted into it. So it will be a good encounter. But seeing the numbers and the history between these two sides, I expect a big run flow. Uri, what do you say about the performance of Pakistan from the couple of games? Because in the last game, I mean, they never expected to bundle up West Indies for 89 in 20 overs, and the way they batted as well is something that needs to be given a lot of respect, because because the bowling was really good against West Indies. The bowlers just stepped up extremely well. And how happy are you to see the new faces like Muniba Ali coming in and making a noise in the very first match?
I'll be really honest. I don't think they were not expecting a win here, because considering it was a 20 over match, they were pretty much like it's all or nothing for us. And I think the way we say now, you put the feet on the pedal and you just ride on it. They pretty much did that. I saw Nidadar's wickets. It was pretty insane to see the amount of enthusiasm the whole team had. Like, if you see them in the very first game that they were playing, and now if you see them, you see a very different team, Pakistan. Like, there is something that has just clicked for them. And to see uh, Ali to come and just say that, listen, I'm just here and I'm going to change the face of the game for my team. So I was pretty happy to see her bat, and also to see the fielding efforts. I'll be very honest, I was pretty much happy to see their fielding efforts. I think one catch of Nidadar's over, um, caught on the boundary, was pretty good. Like, even if it was a fumble, they were pretty much committed to just bundling out West Indies, even if it's like just 20 overs. So I think that commitment is what made the difference for them and West Indies in the last game. So I hope tomorrow they take up with the same commitment, same motivation into the game, and not get bugged by the thought that it's England on the other end, because pretty much both the teams are riding on the same road. So, Julie, I would like to know how much do you think Pakistan has a chances of ruining England's chance of being in the run for semi-finals? Because they pretty much have nothing to win, nothing to lose here. So, what do you think? It's how happy Pakistan is going to be about that?
So I think when a team has nothing to lose, I think they are at their dangerous best. I know that is quite a antithesis using these two words, dangerous and best together. But yes, we saw Bangladesh also the other day causing some trouble to West Indies when they almost had a victory, but just falling shy of 4 runs against West Indies. They had nothing to lose in that game as well. Now again, Pakistan, they had nothing to lose playing against England. So I won't be surprised rather that Pakistan will be, firing on all cylinders against England, and they could give England a run for their money. But yes, as we are talking about Pakistan's performance, actually I was surprised that Muniba Ali wasn't getting chances, because we have seen her in the past as well. She's a stylish left-handed batter. She can also keep wickets if the need be. But I was pretty surprised given the fact that both Nahida Khan and Zaveria Khan, they were not giving good starts to Pakistan, and still Muniba Ali wasn't able to find a place in the playing 11. But then when Pakistan got her in the playing 11, she top scored against West Indies, scoring 37 runs, and of course laid the foundation and set the base for the run chase, because we all know how Pakistan's batting can be fragile, and if they lose say 2 3 wickets say in the first 4 5 overs, then we know that they couldn't have chased 90 odd runs that were posted by West Indies. So I was pretty impressed with Muniba Ali, and I hope that she gets the game again against England tomorrow. And then talking about more about Pakistan, of course, Nidadar, I think, as you mentioned, Urvi, she was exceptional, picking up 4 for 10 in her 4 overs, registering her ODI best figures as well as best figures for Pakistan in Women's Cricket World Cup. So that was incredible. We all know Nidadar is a class act, but again, the timing. She rose to the occasion pretty late in the fifth match of the World Cup, so that was not good for Pakistan's point of view. But yes, I'm hoping an exciting contest between England and Pakistan tomorrow. So, Dhanush, as we are talking about England and Pakistan match, of course, we know that England, they have won a couple of matches in their 5 games. They have Bangladesh and Pakistan ahead of them, but the batting has not clicked. So, if we just look at their batters, it has been only Tammy Beaumont and Nat Silver who have been able to get past the 200 runs in the 5 matches played so far. but the likes of Heather Knight have been kept quiet. Amy Jones in one match she scored a half century, but then the opening concerns have been there for England. So how do you see the England batting? And of course, what could be the roadway ahead? Because we know that they could make it to the semi-finals, but how do you see their England batting improving now?
I guess tomorrow's match is the it couldn't come anytime before because it is a perfect opportunity for them to go out there and smash against the Pakistan bowlers because though they have a very good record against them. I was just reading the numbers out there, and Tammy Beaumont has like 484 runs in 7 or 8 matches. She has scored her career best against Pakistan, some 168 or something, and Nat Siva as well. She has also got some big runs, 370 runs, and she has also got a couple of centuries. And even Heather Knight also has the captain also has scored 350 plus runs against them, all in just 8 or 9 matches against Pakistan. And even I went back and saw what was the score in 2017 World Cup, the previous World Cup, and it was 377 for 7 against Pakistan. And Nat Siva and Heather Knight, both of them scored 100. So definitely, they know that this is a great opportunity for the whole batting unit. Tammy Beaumont, Heather Knight also has looked good in a few games, and Nat Siva, as we were discussing, she has rose. She had a very good start, but in the middle, she had a not so good run in the second, third, and fourth match. But she has come back again over the last couple of games. So I feel the whole batting is going to be getting a huge amount of opportunity when it comes to scoring runs. I want to see how Danny White come back because she is one of the most promising players in England circuit for the last 4 5 years. She is also one of those cricketers that mainstream cricket also know about. If you go and ask a cricketing fan who doesn't follow women's cricket, he might have a knowledge about Danny White because she is pretty much known in the mainstream audience. So definitely, I want to see her step up because she has the standards and she has the capacity. Amy Jones as well. She is doing her duties, is what I feel, because finisher is the role given to her and Sophia Dunkley, and they have been pretty good in that situation. Overall, I will say that it's a great opportunity for the whole batting unit tomorrow. They can go in and swing out there. The pitch will be pretty much new because it's the first match happening in Christchurch. So they have to just make use of the batting conditions. If they win the toss, go bat first, put up the big score on the board. Maybe we'll see 350 in this season, in this World Cup for the first time, and just have a good game because they shouldn't take this they shouldn't pressurize themselves, is what I mean to say. And Pakistan, on the other hand, I just they have been really good, like how you said. When they have nothing to lose, they are the most aggressive and the most and the best team, irrespective of any team, not just Pakistan. So yeah, definitely they will also be going out there playing with all their guns, and with the win against them, unexpected win against West Indies, certainly they will have a lot of positivity. So, Urvi, I want to know how the whole, as I am saying, England batting must be aggressive against the Pakistan side. Even the Pakistan batting, Sidra Amin has been one who has scored runs. Bisma Maroof has been here and there, but the rest of the batters have to step up, right? What do you expect from the Pakistan batting side? Because we know England batting will perform well, and to counter attack that, it is the Pakistan batting that has to step up. What do you say about it?
Yeah, I totally agree that Pakistan batting lineup has to step up now because it's a good time to do so because they really don't have anything to lose here. So it's good time to just get comfortable in your roles. One thing I feel somewhere I may be wrong, I may be right, is that the clarity of their roles, like whatever roles they are playing in batting, is kind of not getting to the players. Like if you see that there is too much of moving up and down, they're not sure whether they have to attack, they have to defend, whether they have to go with the flow or they have to just take a step back. So if that is done, like if you say that okay, if we are two down, the third batter has to do this. If you say like okay, if we are five down and we still have like 20-30 overs to go, then just
It's
pull
been
till.
extremes, right? If they are too defensive, they will be too defensive, not scoring much
Yeah,
runs.
yeah,
If they
yeah.
are too aggressive, they lose their wickets in a way.
Yeah, they lose the sight of how much level of aggressiveness you need to hold. So I think just keeping one thing in their mind is like if you are in it, you are going to win it. If you go with that kind of thought, especially against England tomorrow, then everything else will start falling into place. So maybe just having a bit of more clarity of what kind of game you are expected to play will actually change the whole game for the batting. Because if I see skill wise and technique wise, everyone is there. There's nothing wrong in that. I think the approach is what is going to make the change for Pakistan batting lineup. So I feel that is where they need to work on, and tomorrow would be a good day to do that for sure. So Julie, anything you want to add on this one, especially for Pakistan batting lineup?
Definitely. I think, Urvi, as you mentioned, that there is no doubt that they have talent in the batting lineup there. Sidra Amin, we saw scoring a century against Bangladesh, but unfortunately, South Pakistan could not end up on the winning side. But yes, we saw that she could hit that century, and of course, she became the first player to hit century for Pakistan in Women's Cricket World Cup. So yes, Sidra Amin is there, and Muniba Ali again, as we saw in the last match. Bisma Maroof, of course, the captain, has been there. Omema Sohail has been doing good in bits and pieces. But again, then from there onwards, if you leave the top four, then the rest of the batting doesn't look that promising. We know that Nidadar is there, but then she has not been in the best of touches, and probably that is not helping Pakistan. And yes, I think just going back to what Dhanush was speaking about, the 350
Hmm.
plus scores. So I was just seeing the scores that have been achieved at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch in women's ODIs. I think in the year 2018, if I'm not wrong, there was 310 scored by New Zealand. And if we go back further, in 1997, there was a 455 scored by New Zealand on the same venue. And guess who was the opposition? It was Pakistan. So, unfortunately, Pakistan has been at the receiving end of some big scores. They have had pretty low scores at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. In one match, they had a lowest score of 57, and in the other, they had 47. So, I don't think that Hagley Oval Christchurch is a good venue for the Pakistani team. So, it is going to be difficult for them. And of course, if we look at the past history of these teams, it is obviously in England's favor. So, there is a big task in front of Pakistani batters. We know that bowling is pretty fine, but then the batting has not clicked, which has been a problem for them. So, Dhanush, just
Julian,
we
I
as
have
we
one question
yeah
from my side.
yeah.
The thing is, as I was going through the 2017 World Cup, which is quite recent, right? I don't think so. England and Pakistan had a series after that. So if I see the record out there, if I see the bowling unit of England of Pakistan, apart from Nashra Sandhu, no one else is playing in this current Pakistan unit. So with the likes of Fatima Sana, Nidadar, and Diana Beg and all these players who are stepping up now in this tournament, Gulam Fatima as well. Will the Pakistan bowling unit approach towards England be different this time?
It could be different, but just to tell you a fact that Nidadar has been around for quite some time. So Nidadar has been there. Diana Beg, of course, new player then compared to the 2017 World Cup. Fatima Sana also new, but Nidadar has been there with Pakistan. So apart from her, all the other bowlers are pretty new. So probably we could see a different kind of energy that the Pakistani bowlers would bring into the team going into the England match. And maybe they could erase the 2017 bad memories that they had against England and make some new memories if they take on England properly tomorrow. So let us see. But honestly, it is more of a lopsided affair that I'm expecting. Dhanush, what do you think? What could be whether Pakistan will be able to provide any fight to England or whether it will be a lopsided affair?
I want to see a fight from Pakistan side because at the end of the day, they deserve to. They showed their capacity and they deserve to be in this top eight teams and they deserve to be in this World Cup. But unfortunately, their record hasn't been good, is what we can say. But tomorrow they have with the win against West Indies, they should take that essence and put it on against England as well. Because if they come in with just a positive mindset and just go with an approach where they don't think much, they don't pressurize themselves, just go out there and score. Like how Uri was saying, don't bat at extreme levels, don't be too defensive nor too aggressive. They should find that middle ground and play a balanced innings. That is what is missing from Pakistan side throughout the whole World Cup. So yeah, and along with that, you said that they shouldn't be thinking about playing against England because their record hasn't been good. And they shouldn't be thinking about that. Definitely, they just have to go out there and play well. This is going to be a really good wicket to bat on because it's the first match happening, and the wicket will be fresh. The ball will come onto the bat, and they have to just approach their batting in a good way because the bowling is matured and they know how to bowl. but the batting is something that has to step up. And England on the other side, I feel that they'll be just in the fifth gear coming into the coming from the first over itself. So yeah, if they get a landslide victory, they will have a big up in the net run rate, and their chances of going into the semi-finals as number three, more than three or four. Number three, as a number three side, will be more. And if you see the semi-finals, the one and four will play in Wellington, two and three will play will play in Christchurch. So they will have a good idea of how this whole venue is, how this wicket is, and they will be with a big win tomorrow. They will have a better run rate, and their chances of ending up at number three, if we think Australia and South Africa will be one and two, will be higher. Would be any final words to add for tomorrow's game from your side when it comes to the both the teams? Because yeah, we all know
Yeah.
England is the one who has a lot from tomorrow's game than Pakistan. Any positive words?
I was just thinking when you were talking about how both the teams, like especially Pakistan, plays on extremes, and England also needs to step up. I feel the only difference tomorrow would be the approach. To be very honest, like if you play your natural game, if you're not taking the pressure on you as a batter or a bowler, and you just go out, play your natural game, and just enjoy the moment, it will make a lot of difference, especially if you are playing against a team which is coming off a good win, like they can come off from a good thriller ending to their last game. So I think, yeah, positive mindset, like you mentioned, will play a huge difference in their approach. And I think for both the teams, the only issue has been that batting hasn't clicked yet. Both the teams bowling has pretty much upped their game. So that will make a huge difference. Like whichever team is batting first, the other one has to believe that they are going to get them, and the team batting has to believe that they are going to score big runs. So it's all about belief and confidence tomorrow for both the teams, from where I see.
Julie, do you also feel the same thing? Like how I said, like how we were saying tomorrow England might be looking forward for a big win. Do you expect the same thing from their approach?
Yeah, absolutely, because they will, as you mentioned earlier, that they will need to get to the third position because they don't want to be in the fourth place and play Australia in the semi-finals. Because we all know that Australia have been in some great form, and facing Australia in the semi-finals will be a nightmare for any team. So I think England are going to put in their blood and sweat into the match that they are going to play against Pakistan. But I'm just wondering that if they try to put additional pressure on them, probably they could do something wrong and just play in the hands of Pakistan. And as we are talking that England making it to the semifinals, all we know that they are not able to make it to the semifinals because they end up losing to Pakistan and Pakistan creating an upset. So again, it is going to be tricky because I think just a few moments back when we were talking about the West Indies South Africa game, there is pressure on West Indies because they have to win, and not only win but win with a big margin. So similarly, England will also have to keep that in mind, and when they are doing that, they have to keep in mind that they have to be sane also. They don't have to be going all guns blazing and do something silly which would finally end up on a losing note. So again, it will be a tricky situation for both the teams.
Yeah, I think we can just like summarize what all three of us are saying is
Yeah,
like play mindfully.
yeah.
Don't like
Both the
lose your
teams. Yeah.
yeah. Both the teams need to play very mindfully in their
Right.
games.
All right. Quick predictions, Danush. Let us begin with you.
England, simple.
All right. No upsets, huh?
Not anymore. How many times do you want to see Pakistan play spoil sport? And if they if they upset England as well, we'll be remembering Pakistan as a side that played spoil sport to West Indies and England in the coming years. And I don't feel that. I don't want that. And England deserve to go to the semi-final because coming back after after three big losses in the first three games and winning all the four, I'm sure they might win against Bangladesh as well. So yeah, I want England in the semi-finals.
Who would be your quick predictions?
I see it as a tough match, but
Wow.
England getting through. I see
Right.
like Pakistan putting up a fight, like giving a run for their money for sure. They're not going to get it easy, but yeah, England will pull through it.
All right.
Hopefully.
I will add one more thing out there. I feel that tomorrow's match will be copy paste of what India versus Bangladesh was yesterday.
But
All
I think
right.
there was a batting collapse from the Indian team. Do you expect that to happen with England?
No, no, no,
No.
no. I mean, as
So
far
like
as the scorecard and all the stuff,
margin.
that
Yeah,
Okay.
he's expecting a margin then.
Okay. Okay.
What
Okay.
about
As
you, Julie?
No, no, England all the way. I know that because we all know how Pakistan team tends to perform at the big stages. So probably it will be England.
Yeah.
Okay, we have something from Chaitanya Rajhans. England should play half the runs safely and then accelerate in second half of chase to gain net run rate. Actually, that's a very good point made by you, Chaitanya,
Yeah.
because yes, if we know that if they are starting to hit from right from ball one, probably that could put pressure if they lose wickets because not all of the batters have been in good form. All right, we had something from Vinay Kumar also. Okay, don't you think playing Sidra instead of Muniba Ali as wicketkeeper Pakistan has shown poor management? Why do you say so? Because I think Muniba didn't. Okay, in the previous matches, I think he's trying to say. So in the first four matches when they were playing Sidra Nawaz instead of Muniba Ali, yeah, probably that was poor
Yeah,
management. But
Sidra Nawaz was coming at number 8 and wasn't having much
yeah,
impact as well.
no,
So yeah, Muniba Ali must have given a chance from the third game at most because
yeah,
she has shown that she has the capacity. Yeah, that is certainly a polarizing take.
yeah. Very, very good point made by you, Vinay, I think. All right. So if there are no more comments from our fans, probably we can close this discussion. So thank you once again, Dhanush and Urvi, for talking about this England-Pakistan contest that will be played tomorrow at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. The match will be played from 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and all the fans can catch the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. And we'll be back again tomorrow at 8 p.m. to preview the match between Bangladesh and Australia. So do join us for a conversation tomorrow at 8 p.m. and send us your questions using hashtag Female Cricket Live. Thank you.